Hi Pisces, welcome back to the Astrology 33 channel. This is your mid-September 2022 love reading. Thanks to those of you who like, viewed, shared, and subscribed to the channel. I appreciate all of that. And for those of you new to the channel, as far as what we have in front of us, it's what I call the bridge in the gap spread. And the way it works is we'll look at the past energies, present energies, and future energies between you and your main love interest. Once we get through all that, we'll pull some oracle cards for some additional insight, and that's where the bridge in the gap dynamic comes into play. And as far as the decks being used, on the left side we have the Lover's Path Tarot, on the right side we have the Cosmic Tarot. And also keep in mind it's a general reading, so I'm going to be referring to the cards on the left as the energy and the cards on the right as the other person's. If you feel like it's the way around in your situation, then definitely trust that. Alright, so with all that out of the way, we'll get started. Past energy on your side, we have the Eight of Coins and the Ace of Staves. So this is the equivalent of the Ace of Wands, and seeing that with the Eight of Coins, I feel like this is saying that you actually probably started to put some pretty significant work toward trying to build this connection, because you just might have felt a really passionate connection toward this person. So I feel like it was a mixture of the two, where there was certainly the passion, the attraction, but there was also a draw on your part to actually put effort to try to build it into a stable commitment. Alright, past energy on their side, we have the Four of Swords. So Libra energy here, and to me this says that they were probably going through a healing process. Of course, this is the card that comes after the Three of Swords, so in the past they might have actually been going through a breakup when you guys first crossed paths, so they might have still been going through the healing process at the time. Alright, present energy on your side. We have the Ace of Arrows in reverse, Justice in reverse, and Illusion in reverse. So seeing all three of these in reverse, to me says that something seems to come out that makes you feel like you don't want to put any effort anymore toward this connection. So now, if the Ace of Arrows were in the upright with the moon, well, this is the equivalent to the moon in traditional tarot. If this were in the upright and this were in reversed, I would say 100% you can definitely trust exactly what you're feeling. But the only thing that gives me a little bit of pause is the fact that the Ace of Arrows was in reverse, because Ace of Arrows in the upright would definitely represent some truth coming through, right? So definitely looks like some information is going to come out that you're going to feel like, okay, this is going to make you not want to put effort into the connection anymore, or you're going to feel like, okay, I'm seeing the situation clearly now. So let's just say on a super generic basis, maybe it's just one of those things where you might feel like you come to the realization that, oh, okay, this person's still not over their person from the past, right? So you know what, let me cut my losses because they don't seem to be reciprocating, right? Could be as simple as that. But that Ace of Arrows in reverse just still gives me a little bit of pause, as far as it's like, oh, you might want to give it a little bit of time to see the full picture. But to be fair, present energy on their side, we have the Seven of Swords in the upright. And Seven of Swords could definitely point to a deceptive energy. So there could be something that they're hiding from you for sure. But like I said, with that Ace of Arrows in reverse, I just feel like it just might not be exactly what you think it is, right? So it could be one of those things where you might start acting a little bit strange around you, and you might start to assume the worst. So just keep that in mind. For some of you, it could be exactly what you fear it is, and then for others, it's like, it could be something where certainly they're exacerbating the issue by not being upfront about something, but it might not be exactly what you think. And I really feel that, just especially because the Mercury retrograde just started as well, so that's what I see with that. Future energy on your side, we have the Six of Staves. So this is actually Leo energy here, and to me this usually represents an energy of victory. So to me this says that whatever the case may be, right, like I said, try not to be very reactive in the moment. Whenever you feel like, okay, yes, I see something that makes me not want to put effort into the connection anymore, I feel like this is saying that if you can hold off a little bit, whether it does turn out that yes, it's exactly what you suspected and you are correct to not put in any effort anymore, or something comes to light that says, well, actually it wasn't what you thought. Either way, I feel like this is saying if you could be a little bit patient, you will end up feeling victorious within the situation. All right, and future energy on their side, we have the Tower and the Three of Cups. So normally with Three of Cups, I'm not one of those readers that sees Three of Cups as a third party situation, right? But combining with the Tower, it's certainly a possibility that for some of you that could be what it is, right? So like I said, for some of you might suspect that, oh, they're not over their ex, right? And you might assume the worst. So for some of you, it could just be one of those things where you're like, oh, they're not over their ex. I'm going to cut ties, right? And then it turns out that, yep, that could be exactly what it was. Now, for others of you, though, it always stands out to me that the Three of Cups in this deck always has two people, too, right? So that's another thing where it could just be saying that for some of you, this Tower moment could be you finding out that it wasn't what you thought, that there wasn't a third party involved, right? So, like I said, maybe they were just acting a little bit strange. So you started to assume that, oh, they must be hiding something, right? They must be back in contact with their ex, but that might not actually be the case, you know? So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a little tricky in the present where you're not necessarily going to know for sure which is it, but to see the Six of Staves in the future for me does say that if you give it a little bit of time and try not to be super reactive right away, you will find out eventually which it is, right? Is it that they actually did have a third party involved? Then yes, you'll be more than happy to cut your losses and you'll come out better for it in the end. Or if it's that, oh, it's not what you thought, right? Maybe they were acting a little strange, but there wasn't a third party involved, right? So then you could move forward from there. All right, bottom of the deck on your side, we have the Two of Cups. So what always stands out to me with the artwork in this particular deck is if we look at the, well, if I can get it to focus, there we go. You can see the lightning in the background. That looks like there was a storm going on. One of the cups is knocked over. So to me, this always stands out as an interesting Two of Cups energy, whereas usually it's such a bright, vibrant energy in most other decks, right? So for some of you, this could just be pointing to what you guys were experiencing in the past. Like I said, it looks like you guys were ready to go. You were ready to help build a connection, whereas this person looks like they were going through a healing process, right? And for others, you just could just be the drama of what we're talking about here, right? Where something seems like there's some deception at play, but then it might come out later on that that wasn't the case and you guys can actually get the connection together. So definitely a little bit of a tricky energy for sure. But I don't know, maybe it's the combination of the retrograde that just started and you guys just had that full moon in your sign too. It's kind of intense energy though. Bottom of the deck on their side, we have the Five of Cups. So yeah, this is definitely an energy of disappointment here for sure. So yeah, like I said, for some of you, it isn't necessarily, for some of you, it could definitely be the case that they might be interacting with their ex again, let's say, right? But for others, you could just be really that they're going through a bit of a rough stretch, right? But rather than open up about, hey, you know, I'm still going through this healing process, they might just act a little strange around you, and then that might get you to make assumptions, right? And then it could snowball a bit out of control. So just be mindful of that. Definitely tricky energy for sure, but we'll see what the Oracle cards add to the mix. All right, first we'll see what we get from the Moonlight deck. And I did pre-shuffle this deck before we started recording. What I'm going to be looking for is unspoken messages from me to them, and then from them to you. And if I shuffle for a while without anything coming up, I'll actually just put the deck down and pull cards that way. But we'll see what we get. Nope, almost had one there. Alright, and that does want to go back in the deck. Put it on your side. And then we'll see what we get from them to you. Alright, and that does want to go back in the deck. So let's see what we got on your side first. Okay, we have mistake. It says, I made the wrong turn and honestly the grass wasn't green over there. Interesting. So, yeah, if nothing else, this could be supporting what I was saying, that for some of you, at the very least, try not to be reactive in the present, right? If something seems a little off, try not to just assume the worst immediately, given the retrograde energies that are at play, right? Just try to ride it out for a little bit. Because if you do so with that Six of Staves in the future, it looks like things will work out your way either way. Whether the information does come out and it confirms what you were suspecting, or turns out, oh, it wasn't as bad as I thought, right? It was something different. All right, on their side, we have stubborn. Stubborn with 4 dots, right? So maybe, like I said, to be fair, even if you were to overact about something, they're certainly not helping their cause by bringing that Seven of Swords energy. So like I said, for some of you, it's the deception might not be that they're hiding someone else or anything like that. It could just be, like I said, for some of you, it could just be that they're still going through a bit of a rough stretch, right? And they're just not open and expressive around that, and then that could just get you to assume the worst. So that's what I see with that. All right, and lastly, we'll pull a card from the Wisdom of the Oracle deck, and same situation as far as I pre-shuffled this deck as well. Here I'm just looking for one card with general advice to uplift. All right, so nothing's coming up. So what I'm going to do is I'll put the deck down and just give me a few seconds to tune in, and we'll just pull a card. Okay, take this card here, and let me move these out of the way. All right, let's see what you got. All right, we have Blessed. There we go. There's the artwork, and the number is 22. Okay, so the relationship message says you are moving toward a deepening of intimacy in a unique and sacred partnership. You know you are meant to make this connection. This union, blessed by the divine, will bring transformation and beauty to the world. This is also a sign that, even more important, you're being called to a deeper intimacy with yourself and spirit. With this new development, you will see evidence of grace in your life. So yeah, definitely a pretty positive message there. Like I said, I do feel like something definitely is going to look off in the present, I feel for sure. But like I said, it looks like if you could just take a little bit of time to let the energy ride out, I feel like the truth will come out regardless. And for some of you, that would be that, yes, I'm correct to walk away from the connection. For others, you'd be like, oh, I thought it was this big thing, but it turned out it wasn't, right? And then you'd be glad that you didn't overreact in that case. So, hope it resonated for you guys. We'll wrap up there, and I'll see you all next month. All right, bye.